Hi everyone. So I am Jaya Chahar, and people who follow cricket here might know me as the wife of Indian cricketer Jaya Chahar, which I proudly am. But trust me, I'm much more than that. So how many of you actually believe in the power of manifestation? Great, me too. So I'm going to tell you a small story about the power of manifestation. Now, in my initial professional days, I worked for about 4 to 5 years and for a few MNC companies such as Star India and the BBC. And I remember I was shifting from Delhi to Mumbai to join a company called VUCA, which was an OTT platform which was a joint venture between Warner Brothers, Singtel and Sony. But it unfortunately shut down because of the situation caused by COVID. Now, this was a big shocker for me because I was suddenly a jobless person who had completely shifted to a new city. But as they say, the show must go on. So without wasting any time, I actually applied for another job in Airtel Digital in a business and partnerships division. Now, amongst all the talented people that were applying for that job, I was fortunate enough to have got that role. And I shifted back to Delhi with that role, and I got a great experience by working across different digital businesses within Airtel. Well, after that, I remember in 2020, someone at Airtel asked me the same question that you guys might have heard at least once in your lifetime. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Now, my answer to that question was that I see myself building a tech company. This is not going forward. So anyways, I answered to that I want to build my tech company, and cut to, from 2022, I actually resigned from my job, and my husband Deepak joined me and supported me in creating a dream project called Trade Fantasy Game. It's a unique platform. It's a unique platform where we are creating a category based on sports skill-based games. Now, since I lead a gaming company, so many people actually ask me, does gaming come naturally to women? Why did you even choose this sector? And my answer, in fact my question to these people is, why not? Why not be in a place of opportunity? Opportunity not just to build and innovate, but to create a change. To create a change by stepping in and not wanting anybody's permission. Well, with that, I've obviously had a lot of setbacks as well as an entrepreneur. But you know what's the main thing? That when you jump off a cliff, right, it's almost like jumping off a cliff to become an entrepreneur. Because there are as many uncertainties as there are possibilities. And that is probably the most real truth, whether you jump into anything new in business or in your own life. So the good thing about COVID was that it taught us that there is a lot of uncertain possibilities within business. And that's when we realized that we are now living in a world which is now known as the VUCA environment. So what really is a VUCA environment? It's vulnerable, it's uncertain, it's complex, and it's ambiguous. So the true innovators and leaders have actually tackled this VUCA environment and have gone ahead to build these uncertainties into an opportunity in finding great businesses. Well, to be honest, there's no specific definition that I have of an entrepreneurial journey. And there are so many huge misconceptions about what an entrepreneurial journey really should be. Is it through making a huge business? Is it when you make it into the news headlines when you become an entrepreneur? But what about the setbacks? What about the challenges? What about the failed strategies that despite you having a great execution, probably didn't work for your business? And we keep hearing these unconventional stories today, right? So my point of view is that there is nothing called unconventional. There is no business which is unconventional and no entrepreneur which is unconventional. It is actually the circumstances and the challenges that makes a journey very unconventional. And with that, my notion of entrepreneurship isn't about, making it unconventional, but it's about having the plot twists that actually make it very, very interesting. So, in my journey of building TEDxIIMBG, I've also had many, many setbacks. And with those setbacks, I've actually felt that the hardest one was tackling the regulatory challenges. When I say regulatory challenges, these are especially in the compliance sector. So they're basically, there is no unified law for regulating gaming in India. So there are different aspects of laws such as, restricting gambling, there is payments, there is contracts, and all of these are actually regulated by different laws. So if you wish to understand the gaming sector, you will have to look at all of this altogether. Now, I have been fortunate enough to have some unconventional examples of entrepreneurs in my own family. And for that, I would like to tell you about from the beginning of my life when I saw and observed my mother making new businesses and media agencies. So in the early 1990s and 2000s, my mother formed her first media agency and actually redefined what meant by advertising for many local Indian advertisers. So not just my mom, but also my father-in-law, Jaya Chahar. I'm extremely impressed by the entrepreneurial zeal that he has at the age of 55 because he has joined Deepak in creating an in-house sports brand called D9 where he has actually filled a neat gap by giving the most affordable cricketing spikes to aspiring and to professional cricketers. And not only that, he's also innovating in apparels, in supplements and many other categories to actually compete with the incumbents of that particular category. Now, while I have the examples of my mother and my father-in-law, I have to mention that Deepak has been an inspiration and a support for me in building the company from scratch. And just a little fun fact, so he's also a brilliant gamer, a strategist, and has a futuristic mindset that actually helped us in shaping these innovative gaming formats which are widely accepted by people today. We actually combined the understanding of the gaming consumer market with his understanding of the game of cricket, and we started working on unique formats of gaming. And when we did that, we eventually launched that and made it into a platform which is today known as the T20 of fantasy sports with quick, strategic and high gameplays. And so today, I would say that I'm very proudly in a position where, I can say that I have built my first entrepreneurial venture in a segment which does not have much women representation. And so that's the reason that I would say when I was building this company, it was not about, having a woman representation, because in my mind, all that was going on is कि मुझे business बनाना है. That's the song which kept on going into my mind. And with that, I felt that, there was a need to innovate in the market. And I looked at some of the past decade examples as well. While you can talk about, from Elon Musk in America, who actually changed the game of the auto industry by building Tesla with AI-driven the entire automation of AI and also direct-to-consumer sales, or even SpaceX, where he's actually challenged the government agencies, and made private space exploration a reality. Or if you look at Ritesh Agarwal from our own country, where he has actually disrupted the budget Indian hotel market with a tech-first hospitality app, or the current Zepto sensations who've actually prioritized speed over anything else, and they're the ones changing the game. The old age models of e-commerce and grocery deliveries, and all of these examples actually make you believe that today ideas and innovations can come from anywhere and they can disrupt billion-dollar markets. And while they disrupt these billion-dollar markets, what they're essentially doing is redefining the consumer expectation. They're also executing great strategies. And so what makes a business really unconventional is the traits of the entrepreneurs who are building it. Now, they constantly challenge the status quo. They will solve problems and break barriers. They will also build a business with a purpose, and they don't really wait for anybody's permission. They take the risk where it's required, and they also move with speed wherever they see an opportunity. However, I feel that there's a lot happening and there's a lot of evolution in the world of business, right? So there are certain frameworks which will help you to analyze what an emerging business should be. Now, innovative products may be reshaping the business models today. And we have seen that in certain multi-dimensional products. So one of the biggest thing about a multi-dimensional product is that it integrates, multiple services, multiple industries and user segments within one business model. And something that tops the chart in this MDB space is actually gaming. So gaming is no more just about Mario, guys. It has developed into an entire ecosystem like PlayStation, like Xbox, and mobile gaming. All of these things are actually giving you an immersive experience across different platforms. And so, mobile gaming is actually India's largest segment in gaming. And within that, you have real money gaming, which is contributing to the most major segment of the entire category. Now, what really is real money gaming? So, real money gaming, very simply put, is online games where users wager money to win back real money or cash equivalents for that matter. And under this is permissible online games and non-permissible online games, right? So, what really drives the business of these real money gaming sector? So essentially, the business models are based on commissions of prize pool, which is actually on online permissible skill-based gaming against non-permissible, which are chance-based gaming. And this is in the legal rulings as well. So apart from this, under the MDB you have Amazon. Now Amazon is one of the biggest examples of a multi-dimensional product where they actually make a user dependent on their ecosystem. So whether it's cloud services, it's content and entertainment, it's e-commerce, financial services or payments, you have one product to go to, and that is Amazon. So whenever you're building something different and there is an innovative product that will drive a newer business model, you have many other examples to look at. So for example, look at the way the digital payments and the fintech revolution has changed the way we manage our money today, right? Or look at how the e-commerce and D2C platforms have changed the way we shop today. Or I think my personal favorite and my very fascinating industry for me is also the agriculture industry, where there is AI-driven crop management. So agri-tech is no more about actually just feeding the world, but it's also about doing it very smartly. And while AI sector has actually, penetrated, and I'm assuming that everybody knows that AI is artificial intelligence, and it's actually penetrated across many, many sectors. And with that, you have so many industries that are going to revolutionize. So there are certain, there are certain factors that you need to consider while you are identifying a future business. And so many entrepreneurs are still stuck on one question: how to identify a good business opportunity. And on that front, I have a couple of frameworks that can help you, which are technical frameworks as well, which have helped me in my own business, to be honest. Because you need to analyze the environment that you will be stepping in, both external and internal. As an external environment, you have a framework called PESTLE, which is political, economical, social, technological, ecological, and legal environments. Apart from this, if you look at how the problem of, high pollution and bad air quality has been solved, is through electric vehicles. Now, they're very smartly and innovatively given a solution to a problem, one of the solutions to a very large problem, right? And therefore, it's very important to identify what kind of environment you will be a part of externally. Apart from that, you also have another framework called the VRIO framework. Now, this VRIO framework is an analysis of your own products and services as compared to the market. So this stands for the value that your products and services create. Is your product and service rare? Is it imitatable? And is your organization actually, in a good position to take advantage of the value that you create? So this framework will help you to see whether you would have a sustained competitive advantage in this sector or not. But apart from this, I think the biggest thing that we need to today see is that these are very technical frameworks. And the biggest thing that you need to consider is your gut feeling for creating a business. And that is the passion with which you will put your business out there in the market. And when I say gut feeling, it will drive you to step into entrepreneurship and also motivate you every single day to work hard for it. And I think from my own experience, I can say one of the biggest challenges that I actually dealt with was the compliances in the industry. And so if you're trying to be an entrepreneur, there are certain practical steps that you should take. Number one, there's nothing like I'll do it later. The time is now. And number two, there is no work-life balance because there'll always be work-life integration. You would have different priority lists that you would juggle with. And number three, remember to stay resilient and agile. This would help you to navigate through the market trends and make your business model extremely robust. So even if you're a solopreneur, I hope you guys know that solopreneurs are the people who don't really hire massive teams and are able to create an entire business by themselves. So even if you're a solo entrepreneur or you're running a startup or you're building a business, you will have certain practical steps that you need to follow. And remember the VUCA environment. That is the environment that we stay in today, and you would have to probably navigate through these challenges by constantly innovating, constantly adapting to things, constantly staying agile. And so what's next, ladies and gentlemen? What's next for me is that the future is actually in your hands. It's just the time till you can start shaping it by yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jaya Chahar, for sharing your entrepreneurial journey.